Outside, sweating, looking at the sun. Just here to talk about shit. A lot of shit been going on. Hurricane Harvey's gone, but the effects are still here, I guess. But yeah, man, I really think the shift is coming. Like with all these hurricanes and earthquakes and fires in California going on right now, who knows? But I have said that I think these hurricanes are man-made. Either way it goes, to me, like I said before, war end up killing war, and that's all. Like it end up canceling out. Like two negatives create a positive, and pretty much what I wanted to say is, even if they are creating these hurricanes, at the end of the day, it's only going to lead to their demise. Like, and if they're not, I mean, that means it's time. Like, the trumpets are really calling and shit. This eclipse was really the start of some change. And shit, I can't lie to you guys. I'm not scared of this shit. I'm really ready for it because, I mean, everything that we do in this world is bullshit. The fact that everything we learn is physical and we never even learn about the spiritual aspects of our lives and the spiritual aspects of everything on this planet. Literally everything existing that has matter has a physical and a spiritual property. You can look it up. You might think I'm bullshitting, but it's true. Weed has a spiritual property. Wood have a spiritual property. Gold have a spiritual property. Everything you know has a spiritual property. All metals have spiritual properties. Certain shit probably have negative spiritual properties that we don't know about. But trust me, there's spiritual properties to everything, or properties, whatever you call it. And pretty much it's just like, bro, I'm tired of living this bullshit ass way. Like everybody be like, the only way you can make it is, physically. Like, no, bro. Like, this shit is fake. Like, it's illusion. Everything about it is bullshit. Like, it only works because you allow it to work. It wouldn't be here or anything if you wasn't accepting of this shit. It also wouldn't be here if they didn't enslave you and enslave your mind, bro. Like, a lot of these people that lost, bro, you only helping America and these other corporations in the world grow, bro. Like, people don't understand everything they do in this world matters. Everything you do has an effect, no matter how small you think you are, which you're not. I know you might think you are. You might feel like a speck, because that's what they programmed you to believe. You're a speck in this universe. Everything you do has meaning. Everything you do has power, negatively or positively. So I mean, bro, like, you can think that you just live in this world and only just living for you and you just trying to survive. But shit, every day you trying to survive, you might be negatively hurting someone else or positively hurting someone else. I mean, helping someone, depending on, what you're doing in your life. Because, I mean, this is how this world was set up, off balance. Like, if you don't know how to work between harmony and balance, bro, this world would be chaotic, which it is. Like, I'm sorry to say it, bro, like, we don't have to capitalize on each other. Like, I was thinking, this might get a little complex. This one, I just said, well, two negatives make a positive. This is my little math theory about integers and how they pretty much is even spiritual properties in fucking integers. Excuse me. Like I said, two negatives make a positive. So if you was two people with mentality of war, like, you eventually will end up canceling each other out. You will kill each other, and you won't have. Even if you win, you lose supplies every time you enact in a war. Like, you have to rebuild after a war every time. I'm sorry to say it. That's why. I mean, I'm not even sorry to say it. That's just capitalism. Whenever a country go to war, you have to rebuild. That's why the economy booms again, because, like, literally, there's jobs and there's everything. Like, you have to rebuild, so you have to create jobs. You have to all that different type of bullshit. So, what I'm saying is, even when you do go to war, you always are risking not being able to just you get weaker, point blank period. So if you're a negative person, the more you be negative, you get weaker in this world, because the positive will override your negativeness. Like, you only can be negative for so long. It's simple as that. Like, I'm not saying every time you go to war, one minus one, well, you know what I mean, minus time or minus, It's not gonna always directly equal to a positive. And the reason I also say this is because you can see America, they're gonna help people. So there's the pluses in it. Like if you look at it in karma, like it's a log that you get to make. It's not one act that you do. After a certain amount of logs, shit, you will fall. Like, bro, if you so much in the negative, you will fall. Like, after so many different experiences and lessons you went through, as a corporation or whatever, you will fall. Like, the more negatives you have, you're in the red. That's with anything. Like, you can only fail so much. You only can do negative things so much before you're caught. And that's the truth. Like, you can see it with America. Every time we go to a war, the American people support it less because we see the flaws and why and what's going on. Like, it's just so much more information. So the more they even enact in a war, they lose power over its people. So as I said, a negative end up making a positive because, I mean, you go to war, the people wake up. Every time you go to war, the people wake up more. So you risking losing power when you try to control people. So America like to do stuff with timing, of course, because they know these things. They don't just blow up somebody every week or every month. They wait after so long. It's so weird. Like, they know shit. But that's just my little thing with even just like even with math, it shows you like you positive, bro, and you fuck with a negative thing, you will end up negative. Like, don't exist in that world. Don't interact with negative things because eventually you will become negative. Not off one experience, not off one lesson, not off one event. That's the word I'm looking for. Like, over time, that log will build up if you experiencing negative things and you become negative. You fuck with positive people, there's no way you can become negative. It's in their math. Well, it's in our math that we created a long time ago. Now they're teaching it to us. But now I see that it really is our math because even the numbers and the way we make this shit set up, if you match numbers with karma, even though I never had a hard time with integers, I mean, shit, like it's a life lesson that you connect with math too. Like when we be like, when do we ever use this shit? Shit, every day in your life. Whenever you meet a negative person, even though you're a positive person, you become negative over time. I mean, it might be a different thing to teach, but shit, it is what it is, bro. Like, you have to teach the spiritual things. That's why we always think we don't really have a cause or we don't really have an effect in this world because they teach us that we're little. But we're not, bro. Literally, every event you create has an outcome. Every time. It might not be tomorrow, it might not be the next day. And it also goes to what I wanted to say, where people be like, man, I don't believe in karma. I'm like, and they spraying the fuck out these chemtrails. I ain't even seen them do it today. It's been clear every day too. But today. But what I was about to say. Oh, when they be like, I don't believe in karma, man, why these elites and shit not fucking over, bro? I've learned two things. I've learned one thing. I know this. Alright. These people have done so much evil. How much money they're making, how much land they're achieving and gaining, and you know, all this. They're building up this karma, so all that shit that they've done will ultimately hurt them. Alright, let's make this go even further. Say you're a drug addict. You love cocaine, but you only make like $10. You only see about $20 a week. Yeah, you might be able to do heroin, but you won't be able to overdose and shit like that. I'm not being 100% realistic. Just, you know, giving you an idea. But if you're a millionaire and you're a heroin addict, you can literally purchase as much heroin as you want. All right, so like a lot of the things when you're evil and you're rich, you can pay for your own hell. Like, they don't realize that because, like, no, I want to make this much money. I want to do this. I want to do that. All right. Well, keep doing that. Eventually, you're going to make the wrong mistake, and that shit's going to fuck you over so much in your head that, I mean, it is what it is. Like, that's how I see that karma. But another thing is, too, this is what I learned recently, is that this place is just like a stepping stone for us. This is just a classroom, a lesson we have to learn. I think this is, you know, karma, balance, harmony. This is the lessons we're learning. That's what you have to learn about this life, this generation of, you know, whatever. But that's for us. That's for the people that's connected. I'm not gonna say white or black, because I believe even if you're white and you're connected to nature, you have melanin in you. You're using your melanin productively, even though you don't have a lot. Not all black people have a lot of melanin. I mean, some people are Creole is white as day. I mean, their melanin is less than them. I mean, it is what it is. But they still can connect just like you can. When you with nature, you're gonna connect. But if you are these white people that's inside eating unhealthy and shit, it's gonna be harder for you, bro. Cause I mean, just being realistic, the melanin is what makes us connect easier. Even when we be eating and shit, all that, we can still connect and dream. It might be harder for us, but it's easier because we have so much melanin. So think if you just out in the house all day, drinking alcohol all day for the wrong reasons, like it's gonna be so much harder for you to connect. So I'm not even gonna say white or a black thing, but if you're not connected, bro, you're not gonna make it to the next lesson that you have to make. And that's what I'm saying about these elite people. Like, this is their heaven. That's why they're allowed to do all this crazy shit. I mean, it's coming to an end, but this is their heaven and this is also their hell. Of course, I mean, there's a balance of these things. They just can't run shit. So their heaven has been, they got to do what they wanted to do, and they fucked up with that shit. So, I mean, now their karma is coming back on them. That's why I say I think the shift is going to happen. But they don't get to progress if you're not connected. You get to stay here and do this over again and try to figure out what you did wrong last time. All the people that's connected and ready and been paying attention to everything and that's aware of this shit, like, you get to move on. And the next stage might be something, of course, I wouldn't even know. Like, it would be impossible for me to even understand what my next lesson would be. But this lesson, the fact that we have a sun and a moon is balanced. The fact that there's cause and effect, the yin and the yang, this ultimate lesson is to teach you that there's balance. You have to have balance. This world is to teach you balance. Harmony, karma, all the same thing. This balancing each other out. Like, the symbolism is so real. Like, and then I think the next world might have like fucking 5 moons, and the lesson might be survival. You know, I mean, not 5 moons, 5 suns, and the lesson might be survival. I'm just saying, like, you never know what it's going to be. I don't think it'll be that much because I probably already got past survival like 3 or 4 worlds ago. But yeah, we are our own universes, guys, and shit. I guess follow your own path, bro. Not even I guess, follow your own path. Find your own path. Be your own path. And don't let nobody else tell you no. That it ain't. I don't know what to tell you guys, man. I don't know what you're going to shift into. You know what you're going to shift into because you know everything. You know what you've been doing. You are God. Like, when they be like, God knows, what do they say? God know everything. Well, duh, you are the God. Everything you do, you have a feeling towards it. If you feel like you did wrong, you know you feel like you did wrong. If you feel like you need to do it to live, you have that feeling. So, you know if you did right. You know if you did wrong. You can lie to yourself. Your ego can tell you whatever, but inside you have that feeling. Every time you think about it, you get depressed or happy or whatever. Like, you know, emotions is the real things. I mean, not the real things, but emotions. It's hard to lie with emotions. That's what I guess I wanted to say. But yeah, wrapping it up. I'm out. Deuces. Peace. Hair grease. Alligator skins. I don't know. See y'all after the shift.